If you've noticed a lack in throttle response and want to gain some of that back without having to tune or modify your PCM, the C&L Black Edition throttle controller will be a great addition to your 2011 to 2020 F-150. Now this will be a super affordable way to reduce or modify the delay from when your foot hits the pedal to when your throttle body opens. Now because the F-150 has an electronic throttle body, you've probably felt the delay, especially if you've added any heavy armor or larger wheels and tires. Now this will gain it back while incorporating other features that will benefit you when it comes to fuel economy and security if those are also a high priority for your truck. Now this controller will feature multiple different modes including Eco, Comfort, Sport, Race, Normal, Anti-Skid, Intelligent modes, and Anti-Theft modes. Now within each of those settings you'll be able to modify the sensitivity, perfect for the truck owner who's looking to fine-tune their throttle response on the fly. Now H1 will be your comfort mode, which balances performance and fuel economy. Now H2 will be sport. This improves your engine response for better performance during daily commuting. Now H3 will be race. This will offer maximum performance for immediate throttle response. EC, which is displayed on the screen here, will be for economy or your fuel efficient setting designed specifically for fuel savings. Now NOR is normal and the acceleration is set back to the factory defaults. Now snow is your anti-skid, which will be suitable for slippery conditions and reduces the tire spin by delaying the throttle response on initial acceleration. Now OOO is intelligent mode, and this matches the acceleration automatically according to normal driving habits. Now LOC or lock is going to be your anti-theft mode, which will give you that security that you want out of the system, and that's going to eliminate the ability to drive, and the throttle pedal will have no response. Now this will come with a very low profile and sleek device, and the Black Edition will offer a super stealthy look compared to the standard white controller. Now here is where you can modify your responsiveness on the fly while also being incredibly user-friendly in design. This will have a small screen with 2 buttons to change the mode and adjust the settings. And the kit will also come with a plug-and-play wiring harness, making it super easy to switch up your throttle response with a plug-and-play system. Now, I would like to mention though that this is not going to be a tuner. This will only be changing your throttle response and no other parameters that you would when tuning your F-150. Now this will cost you roughly $150, making this one of the more affordable choices in the category for a throttle controller. Now other options will usually be set up a little bit differently when it comes to the settings as well as the device itself. Now you'll see options with Bluetooth compatibility, over 20 different settings, options with sensitivity dials or preset settings, and then you'll even have choices that you'll have to switch manually instead of having a device. Now not to mention, again, there is an option for the standard white device, but it is still going to be the same when it comes down to the settings and everything that's included as far as the features. Now I personally think that this is a great choice considering all the different options, the adjustability, and the build of the device itself, making it well worth the $150. Now this will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 20 minutes to get the job done. Now at this point we can head over to the shop and check out a detailed breakdown of the install, so that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
The tools you'll need for this project is some rubbing alcohol and a clean cloth. Hi everyone, today we're installing a throttle controller on our F-150, so let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is disconnect our throttle connector, which is right here. And to do this, we're going to lift up on the red tab to unlock it, and then we'll push in on the release tab and pull straight up on the connector. Now we've got it disconnected, we can go in and hook up our throttle controller in place of this connector here. So as you can see, our throttle controller has 2 plugs, a male connector and a female connector. The male connector is going to connect to the plug that we just pulled out. So we're just going to go ahead and plug that in to this side. There we go. And once you've got that plugged in and it snaps in, you can go ahead and press down on the red locking tab. Now we can connect our second connector, which also has a red locking tab on it, back to the throttle pedal. And once you hear that snap into place, go ahead and push down on the red locking tab, and now everything is connected. Now the next thing we need to do is run our cable up behind the dash We're going to mount it on the top of the dash here, so we've got easy access to it in order to change our settings. Now we're going to run our cable behind this lower dash panel here, and it's going to come out right on this side here of the steering column. So once we've got that pulled out, now we can go ahead and hook up the actual control panel for the throttle controller. Now, for our purposes, we're just going to go ahead and mount our control panel right here on the top of this trim panel here on the lower dash. You can mount it, of course, anywhere that you feel comfortable with it. But before we do that, we're going to need a little alcohol and a clean cloth, and just wipe down that area and make sure that there's no residue from any kind of cleaning materials or grease or oil or anything like that on there. So once you've got that cleaned off, give it a second to dry up, and then we'll take our control panel and plug it into the cable that we just ran. Remove the red backing material off of the back of the control panel, and go ahead and put it into place. Now you want to make sure that you leave enough room for the end of this cable not to interfere with the steering column, so it is a little bit of a tight fit. Now once you've got that in, we can go ahead and test it out and make sure everything functions the way it should. Now once you're in H1, H2, H3, or EC mode, if you do a long press and hold on the mode button, you'll see that it comes up with a setting that says AAA. And that's because our truck is an automatic vehicle. As you can see there, this is telling us it's automatic. If you have a manual transmission vehicle, you can press and hold the adjust button here, and it will change from AAA to SSS, which means stick. Now, ours will not do that because we do have an automatic transmission. So we'll just press and hold it and get back to our regular modes. And that wraps up our review and install of the C&L Black Edition throttle controller for the 2011 to 2020 F-150. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.